Hi, I'm Dick Backus, and I've been attending the church since really late 2006 when my wife and I moved to New Boston.
Hi, I'm Donna Elliott Joyle, and I've been coming to New Boston Community Church for about 50 years. I grew up in New Boston.
And I'm Dick Joyle, her husband. Been coming to New Boston Community Church for about 40 years.
Hello, I'm Kristen DeMartese. I have actually been coming to the New Boston Community Church since I was a child, and we love coming here, and I feel very blessed to have my children attend the same church that I attended as a child, and we'll let Eva go. Say hi, Eva.
Hi, I'm Eva.
How long have you been attending church?
I have been at church since I was 1.
Hi, I'm Sophia, and I have been in church since I was 3 or 2 years old.
Hi, I'm Olivia, and I've been in church since I was really little.
I've been coming to the community church since I was probably about 8 years old. And I was not in the church for a few years while in college, but came right back.
And I've been coming to the church since I've been dating Donna. We've since gotten married. And we've been married a long time.
So I started attending the church pretty quickly after I got to town. My wife attends occasionally. It really suited what I was looking for, a sense of community of people working together for the greater good of the general area.
I like going to church for the choir and how they sing, and the cookies.
I like going to church because I get to see all my friends, and I like listening to the choir and learning about God and Jesus.
I like church because we get to do arts and crafts.
This is one place I can go where I feel some peace and listen to Woody with his words of wisdom and sort of bring it all together for me so I can go back out again and try to help people.
That I love is that this is where my husband and I wed. This is where our children were baptized. This is a place where we gather for celebrations of people's lives. It's a place where sometimes we say our final goodbyes to loved ones. It is truly a place of comfort, and this church has been...
I feel really good, and I feel in peace when I come to church.
Sing with me.
I feel excited because I get to learn about everything that God did.
I was experiencing some problems with the minister. It wasn't uncommon to have maybe 6 people in church on a Sunday, which was kind of sad, but I think the people who did come to church really wanted to see the church continue and grow and prosper. And I think that it has. I think all you have to do is contrast that 6 people on a Sunday versus the people we have in church nowadays, and you can see the church has bounced back, and it's a good feeling to be able to sit there and watch that.
Last year we did a play called Greater Tuna, which is set in a fictional town in Texas, and we had set up a stage and set up a backdrop so that we had a sense of Texas, and it was a lot of work. We had covered the windows with black drapes so that the light wouldn't come in, so we had lights set up and the sound system and a lot of wires running every which way. And I had pretty much organized the strike after the play was over, but it was really magical because everybody immediately that was involved with the play, and some that weren't, pitched in and the sets and the backdrop and the wires and everything just disappeared in an incredibly short period of time, and suddenly the church was back the way it always was. And it was like magic. And it's that kind of the way the people work together in this church that I find very inspiring and makes me very proud to be a member.
Proud moments that I have had of this church is the success that our duck race has had, and how whether you are a church member, you come down to our town common and you enjoy all of the fun activities and that day, and how it's a celebration of a young man's life who is an integral part of our church community.
Many people look for churches to be the kind of the center of spiritual life. I think that's a little different with this church. This church is really one of the centers of community life, and I think if you really spend some time and look at the church and who's in it day to day, you'll find an amazing array of different people from the community, and I think that's probably one of the best things this church has going for it, is that it attracts members of the community here.
One of the things I like tremendously about the church is that it's very much a community center as well as a church. You don't have to be particularly religious, you don't have to be strongly Christian, you could be really any faith. Woody welcomes everybody, people of faith and people of no faith. Anybody who wants to contribute to the community and be a part of the community. Lots of groups use the church. There's a Boy Scout troop out here right now getting ready for Halloween. And all kinds of groups come here, and it's constantly in use, and I find that very exciting and very rewarding.
Woody, what do we like about Woody?
Woody is fun.
He is so fun. Yeah, he gives great sermons, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
One of the enjoyable parts about coming to church is Woody. I think he's been a great addition to not only the church, but to the Boston community. Everywhere you look, Woody's involved in something, and I really think he's the glue that kind of holds things together. And I think that the church and the community have benefited as a result.
I really enjoy Woody's sermons. And the kind of work that I do, there's a lot of difficulty, sadness, and I come to church on Sunday, and Woody can put things in perspective. And
I think the very heart of the church really is the people that are involved in it, and the center of that is really Woody Woodland, who really brings everything together. He's extraordinarily committed to the community and to doing things in the community. He does so many things that I secretly think he has an identical twin that's actually sharing the job with him, because he seems to be everywhere and to be tireless, and it's really his spirit that infuses the church with the kind of spirit it has and makes people as committed and as eager to give their time and their effort to make the church work for the community.
I've been volunteering for the community dinners, and that's been a lot of fun. Enjoyed that. Before that, I was on the trustee of expenditures for probably about 20-25 years. I've also been treasurer and auditor, so had many different roles within the church.
When I'm a Girl Scout, every year we went to the church dinner and we served the people who came.
I served as an elder for several years, and clerk of session as well.
You were that guy.
Were you a shepherd?
Yeah, you were a shepherd. I like being a shepherd.
What do we feel about it?
I participated to be a dog.
Dog in the pageant. Yes. Yes.
Participated in the play for being a camel, and I was the head of it, and it was a lot of fun.
It's much better being the head.
For our church holiday.
Yeah.
I had met Jay and Dottie Martin, and they, as I said, are very persuasive. And every time I ran into Jay, he said, "Why don't you come down and just come down when we're rehearsing? You don't have to commit or anything. Just come on down." Sure enough, I showed up finally so that he would stop asking me, and I've never stopped coming. It's just been great fun and a great group of people, and I've really enjoyed making that contribution to the church. Woody is also pretty persuasive, and he started encouraging me to get involved in the theater productions that they were doing here in the spring. And he first wanted me to act in them, and I kind of demurred on that, but when he asked me to direct, I said I would consider it, and he said, "You're hired." So I wound up doing that, and it's been a great deal of fun, and I worked with a lot of people, and I had a really good time. Sharon and I decided to pledge. One of the things we do every year is try to find charities that are important and will make a difference in the world, and in many ways it gets harder and harder in some places to find charities where the proceeds almost exclusively go to the good work. And we felt very strongly that the church was doing really good work in the town, and that the money that we gave to the church would be tremendously helpful and would be put to good use. And,
I really feel strongly that the church needs to have a good financial backing from its members. Money doesn't grow on trees. We know that. People have a hard time these days, but if you can pledge a little bit of your income, that can go a long way to helping other people in town and keep our wonderful church going for other people.
In a time of need, our church is there for us. And whether it be pledging, whether it be some sort of service that we can provide, but giving whatever we can give as as a family is very meaningful to us, because we feel that our community church gives so much to us in return.
I'm so impressed with the food pantry and the outreach program and the things that happen in the church. I just think any money given to the church is put to good use, and however the people who are in charge, Woody and the others, decide to use it, I know it'll be well spent, and that's very important to me.
I hope the money goes to charities in the food pantry.
I hope it goes there also.
Yeah,
Me
good.
too.
Money goes towards the people who work here, the physical plant, and other worthwhile causes such as the Helping Hand Fund, the Sunday School, which has grown exponentially over the last several years. So the money really goes to good use.
Our hope for our pledge is that whether it is to be able to give money, a talent, a lending hand, or your time, giving back to our church community is just very fulfilling, and that is
Well, thank you for listening. Pledging is very important to me, and I hope that you'll pledge this year, because I know you'll derive a lot of pleasure from it.
Thanks for listening to what we had to say today. Hope you will kind of support us by helping support the church and considering making a pledge. Thank you.
Please consider pledging this year.
Nice.